Hello, 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 and welcome to CalmCast Minecraft Edition. Because of the new release of the Minecraft movie trailer, I wanted to do an episode about Minecraft, and so today we will be going over the Minecraft Bedrock 1.1 patch notes, or update notes for the Tricky Trials update. So without further ado, venture into the Tricky Trials update. Team up or go solo and discover new decorative blocks, hostile mobs, items, weapons, paintings, and the trial chambers, whose sprawling halls stuffed with traps and treasure. Creep through copper corridors, harness auto-crafting, triumph over waves of hostile mobs, leap using the wind charge, smash your foes with the mace, build with new blocks, battle the breeze, dodge the bogged, and earn exciting rewards for every player. There's even a way to make the trials trickier. Your thoughts on the game continue to shape new updates, so please upvote and report any new bugs at la-da-da-da-da website name, and leave us your feedback at Minecraft website name. New features. Added a new underground structure called the Trial Chambers, added 2 new mobs, the Breeze and the Bogged. I have not played this game since this update, so I'm really excited. My siblings and I have a realm that we play on typically, so we're gonna have to get to it because it sounds fun. But added a new weapon, the Mace. Added 3 new enchantments, exclusive only to the Mace. The names are Density, Breach, and Wind Burst. They added the following blocks: Crafter, Trial Spawner, Ominous Trial Spawner, Vault, Ominous Vault, new variants in the Copper family, new variants in the Tuff family, and Heavy Core. Added the following items: Trial Explorer map, which I would assume would be finding these tricky trials, Ominous Bottle, Wind Charge, Trial Key, Ominous Trial Key, Breeze Rod, 3 new pottery sherds, 2 new banter patterns, 2 new armor trims, and 4 new potions. They have the Potion of Infestation, Potion of Oozing, Potion of Weaving, Potion of Wind Charging. There are 4 new tipped arrows: the Arrow of Infestation, the Arrow of Oozing, the Arrow of Weaving, and the Arrow of Wind Charging. They added 3 new music discs, yes, by Aaron Charoff and Lena Rain. I hope I pronounced those right. They added 20 new paintings, 5 by artist Sarah Boving, and 15 by artist Christopher Zetterstrand. I hope I also said that right. Redesigned Bad Omen to give access to ominous events. Added 6 new status effects: Infested, Oozing, Weaving, Wind Charged, Raid Omen, and Trial Omen. I love having the pillager fights, so all of these raid omen things sound really exciting to me. Added 9 new music tracks by Aaron Charoff, Kumi Tanioka, and Lena Rain. Added 4 new achievements. Structures. There is the Trial Chambers. Trial Chambers are a new structure in the overworld where players can explore and take on combat challenges. Made out of a variety of copper and tuff blocks, and can be found in different sizes. A relatively common find throughout the deep slate layer of the underground. Natural mob spawning does not occur inside, similar to ancient cities, which I have also not found one of those, and I really am excited to find one, so hopefully I will soon. Never starts inside a deep, dark biome. That's good. But can sometimes overlap it. The layout of each trial chamber is procedurally generated and can include traps, rewards, and a variety of combat areas. Decorated pots line the corridors and hold hidden treasures. Supply barrels can be found between different rooms and give you blocks and items which help you navigate your trials. Vaults are guarded by challenges in each room and can be a source of many high-level enchantment books and equipment, including a very rare chance to receive a trident. Ominous vaults can be found in harder-to-reach places and give even better loot than standard vaults, including some items which are exclusive to ominous vaults. Pretty self-explanatory. Each trial chamber will include trial spawners and a melee, small melee, or ranged category. Melee category includes zombies, husks, and spiders. The small melee category includes slimes, cave spiders, baby zombies, and silverfish. The ranged category includes skeletons, strays, and bogged, I'm not sure exactly. Each trial spawner category will only use one mob for the entire structure when generated, and these mobs are randomized for each trial chamber. For example, one trial chamber might only spawn zombies, cave spiders, and strays, while another might only spawn spiders, silverfish, and skeletons, which honestly would probably not be that bad. The exceptions to this area are some trial spawners in unique rooms which always spawn breezes. Here are the mob updates. Mobs. The breeze. A cunning hostile mob spawned by some trial spawners in trial chamber rooms. They drop 1 to 2 breeze rods when killed by a player. The number of breeze rods dropped is affected by looting enchantments. It moves primarily by leaping around its target. It deflects almost all projectiles, making it immune to ranged combat. With one notable exception, it cannot deflect wind charges. An aggressive adversary, it shoots volatile wind energy in the form of wind charge projectiles at its target. After colliding with an entity or a block, wind charge projectiles produce a wind burst which knocks back entities in the area. Wind charges deal a small amount of damage when colliding directly with an entity. Wind charges break decorated pots and chorus flower blocks upon collision. Wind bursts have the effect of activating certain blocks. Non-iron doors and trapdoors are flipped. Fence gates are flipped. Buttons are pressed. Levers are flipped. Bells are rung and swung. Lit candles are extinguished. This is very interesting. Wind bursts do not have any effect on iron doors, iron trapdoors, or any block being held in its position by a redstone signal. It will not retaliate against attacks from the following mobs: skeletons, strays, bogged, zombies, husks, spiders, cave spiders, and slimes. The same mobs will not retaliate against a breeze when hurt by its wind charge projectile. The bogged. A new variant of skeletons, that shoots poisonous arrows. They're easier to take down with 16 health instead of 20 health. They attack at a slower interval of 3.5 seconds instead of 2 seconds, so almost double. It has a chance to drop arrows of poison when killed by players. These mossy and mushroom-colored skeletons spawn naturally in swamps and mangrove swamps. They can also be found spawning from trial spawners in some trial chambers. They drop 2 mushrooms when sheared, either both red, both brown, or one of each. The new weapons. The Mace. a new heavy weapon to smash your enemies. Has a base damage of 5, can be crafted with a breeze rod and a heavy core. Using it will decrease its durability like any other weapon, and it can be repaired with breeze rods at an anvil. It has a unique attack called the smash attack. No way it is called a smash attack. That's awesome. When the player falls more than 1.5 blocks before hitting, a smash attack is triggered, which has multiple effects. I'll repeat that again. When the player falls more than 1.5 blocks before hitting, a smash attack is triggered, which has multiple effects. These include safe fall, which resets all vertical momentum and negates any fall damage accumulated from the fall. Extra damage does more damage the further the player fell before hitting the target. For the first 3 blocks fallen, it adds 4 damage per block. For the next 5 blocks fallen, it adds 2 damage per block. For any blocks fallen after, it adds 1 damage per block. Which sounds like if you get an elytra, and that'd be pretty cool. Great knockback. Other entities near the struck enemy will be knocked back by the immense force of the mace. The mace can be used in combination with wind charges to launch up and deliver devastating smash attacks to enemies. These existing enchantments can be applied to the mace. This includes mending, unbreaking, smite, bane of arthropods, fire aspect, and the curse of vanishing. The mace also has 3 exclusive enchantments: density, breach, and windburst. Enchantment updates. 3 new enchantments have been added, which are exclusive to the mace. There is density. It is a common enchantment accessible in the enchantment table and on enchanted books in random loot chests. It has 5 levels. Maces enchanted with density do more damage per fallen block per density level. Maces enchanted with density do more damage per fallen block per density level. Damage dealt per fallen block is increased by 0.5 per level of density. Mutually exclusive with breach, smite, and bane of arthropods. Our next enchantment is breach. Rare enchantment accessible in the enchanting table and on enchanted books in random loot chests. It has 4 levels. Maces enchanted with breach reduce the effectiveness of armor on the target. The effectiveness of the armor is reduced by 15% per breach level. Mutually exclusive with density, smite, and bane of arthropods. Windburst, which is the 3rd enchantment. 3. It is a unique enchantment which can only be found in ominous vaults. Only Windburst can be found. Only Windburst 1 can be found. Higher levels must be obtained by containing them in or combining them in an anvil. It has 3 levels. Maces enchanted with Windburst will emit a windburst upon hitting an enemy, launching the attacker upward and enabling the linking of smash attacks one after the other. Successfully landing a windburst attack causes the player to lose the fall damage protection they would otherwise have from landing a successful smash attack. Love that. Each level will bounce the attacker an additional 7 blocks into the air. Now, our block updates. The Crafter. A new block that enables the crafting of items and blocks via redstone. It can be crafted with 5 iron ingots, 2 redstone dust, 1 crafting table, and 1 dropper. It will eject 1 crafting result at a time when powered by a redstone pulse. Its current powered state is indicated by redstone crystals on its back face, which will light up. That sounds so cool. The crafting grid on its top face will light up red when it successfully crafts a recipe. Upon receiving a signal, it will eject the recipe result from the front face. If the recipe output has any remainder items, such as a bucket, the result and remainder items will be ejected together, so no losing your buckets. When placed, the front face of the crafter will face toward the player. Our next block is the Crafter User Interface. It has a 3x3 interactable crafting grid. The crafting grid slots are toggleable, meaning that the player can change the behavior of a slot by interacting with it while not holding an item. A slot that is toggled cannot hold any items. Other blocks such as hoppers and droppers also cannot place items into them. Unlike the crafting table, the crafter displays a preview of the crafted item, which will be crafted and ejected on the next redstone pulse, but cannot be manually taken out by the player. The arrow pointing out from the recipe grid will light up red when the crafter is currently powered. The crafter user interface is shared between all players interacting with it, meaning that multiple players can interact with the crafter at the same time, similar to chests and hoppers. Crafter interaction with other blocks. The signal strength of a comparator reading a crafter is 0 to 9, where each non-empty or toggled slot adds 1 strength. Hoppers and minecarts with hoppers can be used to both insert and extract items from the crafter. Droppers can be used to insert items into the crafter. Items inserted from another block, for example a hopper or a dropper, will fill the crafter slots based on these rules. First, prioritize the first empty slot from left to right, top to bottom. Second, if there are no empty slots, then prioritize the smallest stack of the same item, picking the first if there are multiples. Third, if there is a toggled slot, it will be skipped. The item will then be moved into the container. If the item cannot be moved, it will be ejected into the world. Items are removed from crafters by hoppers and minecarts with hoppers in the same order as from other containers like chests. Our next item is a trial spawner, a new variant of monster spawners that ejects rewards upon defeat. It cannot be crafted nor obtained by players in survival. Instead, they can be found naturally throughout trial chambers. They are very slow to mine and they are resistant to explosions and will not drop even with silk touch. They cannot be moved by pistons. The challenge level will increase for each new player a trial spawner notices nearby. The challenge level will not decrease until it is reset during a trial spawner's cooldown. Trial spawners can only notice players which are in line of sight and will ignore creative and spectator players. Unlike normal spawners, a trial spawner will spawn a limited number of mobs proportional to its current challenge level. It can only spawn a mob at positions that are within line of sight. It can only spawn a mob at positions that are within line of sight. Just said it. It can spawn a mob regardless of any light level requirement the mob has. Spawn mobs are persistent. Once all mobs are defeated, the trial spawner will eject a number of rewards which is proportional to the current challenge level. After the rewards have been ejected, the trial spawner goes into cooldown for 30 minutes, during which it will no longer spawn mobs. When placed in creative, trial spawners have no mob type set by default. The mob type can be set by interacting with it while holding a spawn egg. It has an ominous trial spawner variant, which is accessible through an ominous trial. Our next item on the list is a vault. It is a block that holds locked treasure and loot, which players must find the right key to eject its rewards. It can be found throughout trial chambers containing the structure's most valuable loot. Vaults in trial chambers require a trial key to be unlocked. It cannot be crafted nor obtained in survival, and it does not drop anything when mined. It is explosion resistant and cannot be moved by pistons. It can be unlocked by an unlimited number of players. After a player has unlocked a vault, they cannot personally unlock that vault again. If a player has not unlocked a particular vault before, this can be seen by an orange stream of particles that flow from the player to the vault when nearby. It has a keyhole that will be open or closed depending on the players nearby. If any nearby player has not unlocked that vault, the keyhole will be open. If all nearby players have unlocked that vault, the keyhole will be closed. Within its cage, it will cycle through and display items which are possible to eject from its loot table. Players cannot time their unlocks to eject the item that is currently displayed in the cage. The loot it ejects is randomized each time it is unlocked. It has an ominous vault variant, unlockable through an ominous trial. Our next item on our list is the copper family. The copper family of blocks has been expanded to add chiseled copper, copper grate, copper bulb, copper door, copper trapdoor, and oxidized and waxed variants of all of the above. Next item is chiseled copper. It can be crafted with 2 cut copper slabs of a shared oxidation level and can be crafted in the stone cutter. Our next item is the copper grate, a new type of decorative block unique to the copper family. It is crafted with 4 copper blocks of a shared oxidation level. Stone cutting a copper block into copper grates outputs 4 copper grates. Its properties include it is transparent and allows light to pass through, mobs cannot suffocate inside them, it cannot conduct redstone, hostile mobs cannot naturally spawn on them, and they can hold water. Next item is the copper bulb, a light emitting block that can toggle its light emission through redstone pulses. It oxidizes like other copper blocks and emits lights based on oxidation level. Copper bulb light at level 15. Exposed copper bulb will provide a light level of 12. A weathered copper bulb will have a light level of 8. And an oxidized copper bulb will have a light level of 4. So clean your bulbs. When placed, its light is off by default. While it is unpowered, it will toggle its light on or off when it receives a redstone pulse. Its light will stay on even when the redstone source is removed and will only toggle off when it receives another redstone pulse. A redstone crystal can be seen in its center while it is powered by a redstone signal. Similar to grass blocks, it does not conduct redstone power. Comparators reading a copper bulb will output a signal strength of 15 if the copper bulb's light is on. The crafting recipe for 4 copper bulbs is 3 copper blocks of a shared oxidation level, 1 blaze rod, and 1 redstone dust. Next item is copper doors and trapdoors. Copper variants of doors and trapdoors that can oxidize over time and be waxed. It behaves like wooden doors, meaning that they can be opened and closed with interactions as well as redstone. It can be opened by mobs that have the ability to open doors, oh boy. Crafted with copper ingots. Next item is the tuff family. tuff has been expanded to have its own family of blocks. Stair, slab, wall, and chiseled variants. Tuff bricks with stair, slab, wall, and chiseled variants. Polished tuff with stair, slab, and wall variants. And all tuff variants can be crafted in the stone cutter. Next item is heavy core, a mysterious dense block which can be combined with a breeze rod to craft the mace. Heavy core can only be obtained from ominous vaults. More items include the Trial Explorer map. It is used to locate a nearby trial chamber. Level up a cartographer villager to journeyman for the opportunity to trade for this map, and I love to be leveling up the villagers. That is my favorite thing to do on Minecraft, so I will absolutely be upgrading to journeyman. Next item is the Ominous Bottle. The Ominous Bottle is an item which can be consumed by players to receive the Bad Omen effect for 1 hour and 40 minutes. It comes in 5 variations, 1 for each Bad Omen level. The bottle breaks when consumed. It can be stacked up to 64. Ominous bottles can be found uncommonly in any vaults and are dropped by raid captains which are defeated outside of a raid. Our next item is a wind charge. Become the breeze. This one's interesting. Using this item will fire off a wind charge projectile similar to the breezes. It can be used to launch entities away from the impact of the wind burst. It grants 10% more knockback than a breezes, but has a much smaller area of impact. It heals damage if it hits an entity directly. It has a half-second cooldown after each use, and can be fired from a dispenser. Players can use wind charges to propel themselves high into the air. Players that launch themselves with a wind charge only accumulate fall damage below the height of where they collided with the wind burst. As an example, if a player uses a wind charge to launch themselves 9 blocks into the air, and they do not land lower than they initially launched, they will take 0 damage. Our next item is a trial key. A trial key is an item that can only be obtained from trial spawners. It can be used to unlock vaults. Our next item is a breeze rod, an item dropped by a breeze that can be crafted into 4 wind charges or used with the heavy core to craft a mace. Pottery sherds. They are added flow, guster, and scrape pottery sherds. Oh, they have added these. These can be obtained by breaking decorated pots that display them in trial chambers. They have added banner patterns, cool. Added flow banner pattern found in vaults. They also added the guster banner pattern found in ominous vaults. Our next item is armor trims. They added the bolt armor trim and smithing template found in vaults. This can be duplicated using a copper block or waxed copper. They also added flow armor trim and smithing template found in ominous vaults. This can also be duplicated using a breeze rod. Our next new items are music discs. They have added 3 new music discs. The first disc is called Precipice by Aaron Charoff. This can be found rarely in standard vaults and has a comparator output of 13 when played in a jukebox. The next disc is called Creator by Lena Rain, which can be found rarely in ominous vaults and has a comparator output of 12 when played in a jukebox. The next disc is Creator Music Box by Lena Rain and can be found rarely in decorated pots in trial chambers and has a comparator output of 11 when played in a jukebox. Our next new item is paintings. They added 5 new paintings by artist Sarah Boving. I think that's how you say it. The names are Baroque, Humble, Meditative, Prairie Ride, and Unpacked. They have also added 15 new paintings by artist Christopher Zetterstrand. These paintings' names are Backyard, Bouquet, Cave Bird, Changing, Coton, Fern, End Boss, that sounds really cool, Finding, Low Mist, Orb, Owl Lemons, Passage, Pond, Sunflowers, and Tides. Our next new updated item is Ominous Events. Bad Omen has been expanded to give access to an optional experience in trial chambers. These optional experiences can be accessed through Bad Omen and are now known as Ominous Events. They are more challenging than usual and are designed to shake up the experience in unique ways. Raids are an example of an existing ominous event. As a result, Bad Omen has a new shadowy icon and a sound for being applied to the player. That's cool. It is no longer given to players that defeat a raid captain outside a raid. Oh, interesting. Instead, players can gain access to Bad Omen by consuming the new ominous bottle item, which kind of makes it nice that I'm not just like stuck trying to save my villagers outside the village by defeating a raid captain and then walking back into my village forgetting that I have Bad Omen. Okay, interesting. Our next thing, our new update is raids. Bad Omen no longer triggers a raid directly when entering a village. Instead, it will transform into a Raid Omen variant with a duration of 30 seconds. Once the Raid Omen expires, a raid will start at the location the player gained the Raid Omen. Like any other effect, players can drink a bucket of milk to clear the Raid Omen, preventing the raid from starting. Our next update is Ominous Trials, a new ominous event that can be accessed by exploring a trial chamber while Bad Omen is active. This event will have players facing more powerful ominous trial spawners if they dare. Ooh, I like that wording. Alright, a trial omen. This is a variant that Bad Omen can transform into. This occurs when the player is within detection range of a trial spawner that is not ominous. The trial omen will have a duration of 15 minutes multiplied by the transformed Bad Omen's level. Players that have trial omen are surrounded by ominous particles. Ominous Trial Spawner. A more powerful active phase of the trial spawner with unique challenges and rewards. It provides a more challenging experience that combat-loving players can opt into for better rewards. If a trial spawner detects a player that has the trial omen effect, the spawner will become ominous only if it is not in cooldown, or it is in cooldown, but it was not ominous during its last activation. Making it ominous this way will bypass the cooldown. While active, the ominous trial spawner will glow blue instead of orange. It will emit soul flames instead of normal flames. It will periodically spawn potions and projectiles on top of unsuspecting players and mobs. Based on their location, spawners in an area will select a random set of projectiles to spawn. These projectiles will always include a single type of lingering potion from a set of possible effects. The mob that the ominous trial spawner spawns are more powerful than usual. Mobs that can wear equipment will often spawn with enchanted weapons and armor. The armor these mobs wear have armor trims applied from the trial chambers. All 3 of the following armor enchantments are applied to each piece. Wow. Protection 4, projectile protection 4, and fire protection 4. Sword enchantments can be either one of the two, or either of the two. Sharpness 1 or knockback 1. Bow enchantments can be either of the two, power 1 or punch 1. Mobs that cannot wear equipment will instead be spawned at double the total mob count over the course of the challenge. The spawners for these mobs will also have an additional mob out at once during its challenge. Becoming ominous will despawn any existing mobs it spawns and will reset its challenge. If those mobs picked up or equipped any items on the floor, those items will be dropped when they despawn. It will stay ominous until it has been defeated and its cooldown has finished. When defeated, it will eject a different set of loot to normalize the trial spawners. To normal trial spawners. Our next item is the Ominous Vault. This is a variant of vaults that have a more menacing looking and emit soul flames. That didn't make sense, but that's what they wrote, instead of normal flames. These hold a more valuable set of rewards than the standard vaults that are unlocked by trial keys. They can be found throughout trial chambers in harder to reach places and require an ominous trial key to unlock. Talking about the ominous trial key, this is a variant of the trial key which has a 30% chance to eject when defeating an ominous trial spawner. These can be used to unlock ominous vaults. Our new status effects include new update. The following status effects have been updated. Wind Charged, which is affected entities will emit a wind burst upon death. This can be brewed as a potion with an awkward potion and a breeze rod. Our next effect is Weaving. Affected entities will spread cobweb blocks upon death. Affected entities can move throughout cobweb with 50% of their normal speed instead of 25%. This can be brewed as a potion with an awkward potion and a cobweb block. Next effect, Oozing. Affected entities will spawn 2 slimes upon death. These can be brewed as a potion with an awkward potion and a slime block. Our next effect is Infested. Affected entities have a 10% chance to spawn 1 to 2 silverfish when hurt. That's a lot. This can be brewed as a potion with an awkward potion and a stone block. I guess 10% isn't that much, but still. Splash potions, lingering potions, and tipped arrows can be made with these effects. These effects can be encountered when taking on an ominous trial spawner. Some mobs are immune to these effects. Slimes are immune to oozing, and silverfish are immune to infested. Whenever a mob with oozing dies, it will check within a 5x5x5 area how many slimes there are. Whenever a mob with oozing dies, it will check within a 5x5x5 area how many slimes there are. If the amount exceeds the max entity cramming cap, 25 by default, it will not spawn any slimes. If it does not exceed it, it will attempt to spawn 2 slimes up until the max entity cramming cap. Updated music. They have added 9 new background music tracks, which all will play in the main menu. Featherfall by Aaron Charoff. It plays in the Badlands, Cherry Grove, Flower Forest, and Lush Cave biomes. Deeper by Lena Rain plays in Deep Dark and Dripstone Cave biomes. Eld Unknown by Lena Rain plays in Dripstone Caves, Grove, Jagged Peaks, and Stony Peaks biomes. Endless by Lena Rain plays in Dripstone Caves, Grove, Jagged Peaks, and Stony Peaks biomes. Poco Poco by Kumi Tanioka plays in Dripstone Caves, Grove, Jagged Peaks, and Snow Slopes biomes. The following have been added to the pool of songs which plays in overworld biomes that do not have biome-specific music. Featherfall by Aaron Giraffe, Komorebi, if I said that right, by Kumi Tanioka, Puzzle Box by Aaron Giraffe, Watcher by Aaron Giraffe, and Yakusoku by Kumi Tanioka. The added achievements are 4 new achievements. Revaulting. Unlock a vault using an ominous key, trial key. Next is Who Needs Rockets? Use a wind charge to launch yourself upward at least 8 blocks. Crafters, crafters, crafters. Be near a crafter when it crafts a crafter. Ooh, that's a tongue twister. Overkill. Deal 50 hearts of damage in a single hit using the Mace, which could be pretty doable. Alright, for the player profile, these are some updates. Introducing the improved player profile page, where you can see your own profile or the profiles of other players. In the new profile screen, you can view achievement progress, compare stats, and access the dressing room, with more features coming later this year. This new screen will roll out slowly and become available in the coming weeks. That being that I believe this was released about the time that the update was being released, so that would have been in June. So please try it out and let us know what you think at Minecraft website. Alright, Achievements View. See your friend's achievement progress and some suggested next achievements you can work on together. Wondering what to do next? Check out your own suggested achievements. The Status View. Check out your Minecraft stats, including blocks broken, distance traveled, time played, and mobs defeated. The Stats View combines play across all platforms. Press the Compare Stats button and select a friend to engage in a little friendly competition. Compare Stats View. Compare stats with other players to see who's broken more blocks, cool, traveled more distance, defeated more mobs, and played longer. Getting to the new profile screen. In the new Play Screen UI, you can access Profile from the Play menu. Open the Friends drawer and click on your friends to see their profiles, or click Search for players from the Friends drawer to find new profiles. In the old UI, click Add Friends from the Friends tab and search for friends. Click on them to view their profiles. Some known issues that Minecraft has had. Using the trident with Riptide enchantment during wind charge jump does not negate wind charge fall damage protection. Alright, some fixes and changes they made to performance and stability. They have fixed a crash that could occur when teleporting to a region where a piston was pushing a chest. They fixed a crash that could occur when the player began losing air, when containers are being cloned over no longer keeping their container screens open and cause crashes. Fixed an issue that could cause the loading screen to get stuck for some time, around 41%. Fixed not being able to load into worlds with some texture packs. Fixed crashes that could occur when creating worlds on new realms and backing out at the online safety dialog box. And support prevention of app flow restart when dark mode toggled on or off on across Android devices. And additionally, there are some other fixes and changes that they have made that I will not go through right now on this video, but we may do another little bit of a video for that. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoy this update, and I'm really excited for the new movie, so I hope you all are too. Thank you for listening to CalmCast, and have a great day.